If you're an event filmmaker, I bet you hate carrying around big hefty tripods or even having to adjust through the legs just to get the correct height and level of your camera. You have to get a monopod to solve those problems, and this monopod right here is extremely affordable. Hello, it's Arvin Concepcion and welcome to Gear For You, a segment on the channel that talks about camera gear and reviews camera gear so you can find out if it's a gear for you. In this episode, we're going to be reviewing one of my most top favorite camera gears for filming events, and that is the Yunteng Monopod. This review is completely experience based, all numbers like weight and maximum height, whatever, those can be found on the sites that you're going to buy it from, but this is mostly based on my experience with the Yunteng Monopod. First and foremost, the Yunteng Monopod's most greatest strength and most unique selling point is not only is it versatile, but it is also affordable, like super affordable. Like I can get like 3 of these for a whole crew, or like 5 maybe. Yeah, that's how affordable it is. I bought the Yunteng Monopod about a year ago, and I've only used it a handful of times because on most event shoots I'm mostly on the gimbal. But recently I've acquired the taste of static shots, so I've been using the Yunteng Monopod a bit more. And I'm always just focused on what's moving in the frame than actually just moving the frame, so yeah. And in all honesty, throughout every time I use this monopod, I love this monopod. Well, mostly because this is the only monopod that I've ever used in my entire life, so I can't compare it to anything. But I just love it because it's versatile. It makes my workflow so much more faster, easier, and lightweight. And I just believe that's what all monopods do. They're versatile, they're lightweight, and all that good stuff. And they're just so essential in the world of event filmmaking. Because in the world of event filmmaking, you really don't know what you're trying to shoot. And so if you were gonna bring one tool at all just to go to an event, it would be the monopod. Because you can get static shots, but you can also get moving shots where you get slider shots, you can get push in, push out shots. That is how versatile the monopod is in the world of event filmmaking. But here is the most biggest question for me. Would I keep the Yunteng Monopod for the rest of my career? Before I answer that question, I would love for you guys to subscribe to this channel if you love what you're hearing and if you want to watch more Geared For You videos. And don't forget to hit that bell notification to get notified every time I post my Geared For You videos, or even my vlogs, or even my behind the scenes. So back to the question. Would I keep the Yunteng Monopod for the rest of my filmmaking career? The answer is no, I wouldn't. And here's why. There's one reason why I would not keep this for the rest of my filmmaking career, and that is build quality. I can separate that one reason into 2 categories. The first category is on the parts that you mostly, fiddle with, those are plastic. And so plastic means there's a high potential it's gonna break. And that's what happened the first time I took it out to use it. The first time it was in this nylon bag that it comes with, and it fell about from my hip level. And I thought it was okay because it wasn't that high. But when I was using it, I was wondering why the monopod kept sinking down. And I found out the 3rd clamp, its lowest clamp, had cracked. And so it can no longer hold the leg in place and it can never reach its maximum height. And that made it even more difficult when I shot the Global Village Integrated Ends event, which you can watch behind the scenes up here. I tried to get a lot of over the shoulder shots, but I couldn't because the monopod was just too short. The second time it broke was I was covering this event, which you can watch up here. It's a vlog, so you can watch that up here. During the event, it was just standing idle, no one was using it, there's no camera on top of it, and someone accidentally knocks it down. And so the part that broke was the lever that releases the quick release plate, which I often use. And so from now on, it's super difficult to get my camera out of that monopod. So that's it for the plastic build quality. Now we move on to one of the most important parts that makes a monopod versatile. So on some monopods, you have this ball head at the bottom, which allows it to move in any direction or stay put. Now on some of these monopods, they have this locking mechanism in order for it to move or not move. Some monopods have this slide up and it moves, and slide down it locks. But for the Yunteng Monopod, you'll have to screw to lock or unlock. Now screwing, it takes a certain amount of time, and then you have to pair that with adjusting the leg, and so that makes it super time consuming to adjust. And in the world of filmmaking, you cannot afford to miss the moment. So those are the two issues that are basically in the category of build quality that I hate so much about this Yunteng monopod. But we all have to be reminded that this is an affordable monopod, a cheap monopod if you will. So we can't expect it to be a 10 out of 10 absolutely perfect monopod. But that's the thing though. It's so cheap, it becomes a low barrier cost for beginner event filmmakers to be able to learn how to use a monopod without spending so much and regretting that they spent a lot of money. So for every beginner event filmmaker, get a monopod, and specifically the Yunteng monopod, so that you don't have to feel guilty about spending so much about a gear that you potentially could hate or love. Now before we head to my final conclusion, I would love to give you guys a bonus tip. For those of you who are considering buying this Yunteng monopod or any monopod in general, I suggest you consider the size and weight of your camera. Because if your camera is super huge and you mount it on a lightweight monopod like the Yunteng monopod, then your monopod won't be able to handle it and you're just gonna fall over like what happened in this vlog. My camera fell down and it landed on the mic jack for my microphone. So keep in mind that you have to consider what you have and what you need to supply it, and then it'll work beautifully. So for my final thoughts, my final conclusion, I absolutely love this monopod for what it is and for how it has helped my workflow make it so much lightweight and faster and super versatile. But I wouldn't mind spending a little bit more money to get something a little bit more better, since I have already learned how to use a monopod. But for now, it gets the job done, and that is the most important thing for event filmmaking. So that about wraps it up for this Yunteng monopod review. And if you would like for me to kind of make a separate video on how monopods are versatile and what you can do with them, then go ahead and comment down below so I know that that's what you guys are looking forward to. And if this video helped you in your decision to buy this Yunteng monopod, then I suggest you hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button for more gear free videos like this, and also behind the scenes, and then also vlogs. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to get notified every time I post those separate type of videos. And I'll see you guys on the next gear free video, on the next vlog, or on the next behind the scenes. Peace.